Good morning, everybody. Yeah, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, Matt. How are you today?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Just checking out the markets. Things look still pretty good. You said there were some data dumps today.
Yes, as a matter of fact, today is a Fed Reserve Chairman announcement decision day. We should be hearing at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time about a potential rate cut. Everyone, I think, is expecting a quarter point overnight lending rate cut, possibly a 0.5%, and then nothing in December if they do it that way. Um, or we could get a surprise and they could say, well, we're not going to do anything this time. And that could be a negative surprise if that were to happen. And the market just kind of like holding its breath, just like they're holding its breath for the election. Now it's holding its breath for the rate cut announcement this afternoon. So a lot of stuff might do an initial crazy move like Tesla, and Bitcoin might do an initial crazy move at the open. Maybe the first move will be the fake out. I don't know. And then you'll find some new equilibrium through the rest of the morning. And then after 2 o'clock, we should see some significant movement again, is my prediction.
Very good. Very good prediction there. All right. Just letting people know we're live. I'm live.
Yeah, I'm reposting your link right now. I think I figured out that sometimes when it doesn't offer me to restream on my account, it's because I have another restream tab open somewhere. It's on my end.
Yeah, sometimes I have so many tabs open, it's crazy.
I'm
Okay.
restreaming. I just reposted the link from your chart here.
Nice.
So we're good. Everyone following me can see that we're doing the show, and everyone following me should be following you anyway because
Yeah, I agree.
bow to you, my friend. Your Gantt charts are the best in the world.
Well, thank you,
They're
sir.
the best in the known universe, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I try. I do what I can. Well, I guess I'll just take a look at the good morning. I'll take a look at the IWM first because I like the momentum. It's keeping up, and it's having some follow through this morning. So the 237.46 is pre-market, and it's above the 886. Got above the 226. So this is really a good indication for things to want to continue. And you can see it's working its way up towards the previous all-time high, and that's going to be the ultimate goal, to flip that to a support and then just go. So I'm just waiting for that for IWM, and I think it's just a matter of time. Probably could happen this year, this year, and then before the inauguration, things could probably really take off starting 2025.
Oh, yeah, look at that. So that's changed to the weekly chart here view of the Russell
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a weekly close above this 235.02 on Friday, tomorrow. Just close above that for the week for the first time ever since the downtrend started, really.
Oh, wow.
That would be a really bullish weekly candle close. So that's the focus of the week for IWM. And QQQ, it's breaking resistance too. That 1.618, the 504.16. So that is really positive as well. So keep that up. And is that all-time highs? Yeah, that's all-time highs too. So looking for that all-time high weekly candle close as well. SPY, gonna do the log scale chart here just because it's 585.38, and that's what I want to see the week close above. So three potential indices: SPY, QQQ, IWM, ETFs, whatever you want to call it, but they all have potentials to close at new highs for either the year for IWM or all-time highs for SPY and QQQ. So this is a very, very, very good step in the right direction for things for continuation.
The everything rally has begun.
Holy smokes!
It started before the election.
Yeah, it did. It started way before the election. They kept melting it up. But I got to check lift out now because somebody said I got to look at it. So I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. Apparently I called this lift move without even knowing it. I just did a lift chart.
Oh, wow. $17. Yeah.
Yep. I was calling for 1620 or something like that. And now it looks like it wants to go. Well, now I got to share my lift chart. Hang on a second.
Yeah. Since they brought it up, I'm like, what the heck's going on?
I was calling for 61.8% fib to $16.90. It looks like it wants to go to $18.78. I mean, that's that is closer to hitting the 76.4 than it is to the 618. So I think it's going to go for 1878 and then pull back a little bit. In fact,
Yeah.
it really should do like a little consolidation here, and that'll give us a nice 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like so far a bullish engulfing candle above a lot of resistance, and it's actually going right towards where my arc is up here and that level. So I can see some resistance like around 18 and up to 1950, like that zone. So that could be some resistance. But yeah, really, really strong breakout through that cloud. That is something super healthy for lift. Nobody expected that except for you. So that is pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't even care. It was a throwaway retrace for me. I just like, oh, it's going to retrace me here to here in 618. That was it.
So I can see 19, $20 on this. I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah.
much more it has left in the tank after that,
Mhm.
but we'll see. But so far, if you got in at these lows, I think that's a good little profit there.
Maybe I really did do the 76.4 because I did one of these things. If you're looking at my chart, you don't have to, but I kind of lined up the 382 off the bottom with this little point right here, and I just like then it predicted that the 23.6 fit really well, and then but it ended up going between these two. And if I actually put where the retrace where it's supposed to go right here, then it basically did get right over the 76.4% fib. That's probably all of it. It's probably this might be a good place to take profit, and you can hold some because it'll go higher, but it's probably going to retrace a little bit next, and then wherever it stops, that'll be the 1, 2. And I could do a quick projection right now because the way I love to just take everyone's time here, drawing things from scratch. Give me that one right there. Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. There. All right. ABC back down from here to 382, 236, 618, and then the whole thing goes here. Dang it. Fighting with my toolbar at the bottom that keeps popping up, the Windows toolbar. Yeah, skip to the end. This thing goes to $34 or maybe $36 in 5 ways up from a bottom near 1176. So 1176 is where I'm predicting it'll retrace to. And back to you, Matt.
Okay, I see another one for App 11. Let's get some App 11 in this. This one's on the move too, apparently.
11? Even what is that ticker?
It's APP. You know,
Oh, that one.
it's App 11, man. Come on,
That is hilarious.
everybody knows App 11.
I never heard of it.
No, I've heard of it, but I don't.
It's like McLovin. It's like the McLovin of apps.
I only know of it because a lot of people request it all the time in my Patreon.
Oh, that's funny.
And
It does look really good.
and guess what it's doing, guys? It's breaking above my green level, but what sits right above here? Ooh, the spooky little 1.272. That is the $231.76. It is almost there. And that is from the previous all-time high back in November of 2021. So that is something that could be rejected up there. So it's in a resistance zone. I don't like it in resistance zones for any kind of entry, but if it can break through eventually and flip it to a support, then it has more room to go. But this whole zone has potential to be some kind of resistance anyways. So I'm just going to watch it. Nothing that I'm going to be doing with it at all. But yeah, it's a nice move, pre-market, really nice move, and still very bullish. But even if it does get rejected there, it still could has the potential to flip the arc to a support, which is in the low 200s, right? So I think that's just what I'm watching. 231.76, close a week above it, close multiple weeks above it, then I think it can continue. Otherwise, it might need to retrace.
All right, I've got a potential retrace drawn on here. It basically went straight from a wave extension and went to 138.2% of the wave one in the very first move up, or like it's just like one solid candle move, probably like on a monthly candle or something, or maybe 2 monthly candles. I guess it's 3 monthly candles. Anyway, man, that looks crazy. So yeah, I would expect this thing to pull back. Let's see, wave one. Gosh, would it come all the way down? It might. It could come down to 105. Would be crazy. Let's say it at least faints at a 382 retrace. So maybe 132.56, which is very close to the 764, to the 17 no 1382. Let's go to 2382. No, that's too crazy. 1764 back to 1.5 up to 2382. Yeah, let's see if let's try this one on for size. So uh, I think at minimum it would retrace to 132 to $123, somewhere around there. Actually, maybe 143. Let's call that. Yeah, app 11 looks pretty good. Everyone that we're talking to, let's see, Danny and Kat and I were talking about DXYZ this morning.
Oh yeah, go ahead and pull that up.
Because I see this thing is just retracing. I've got like a big old target on this one. It formed a really nice support wedge here, and it's gonna just a standard retrace, a 61.8% retrace back to its all-time high of 105, $105. Takes it to $45 next, and it's just trying. It's just starting to do that. You should look at an 8-hour chart. So yeah, it's got a long way to go. This has been on my idea list for a while in my spreadsheet for my subscribers. We've got another 124% higher to go. It could pull back a little bit. I didn't chart it real close, but basically anything you buy down here, I don't think it's not going to fall back in this wedge. It's going to want to go significantly higher. And in fact, that's what it is. It's just kind of like hanging out right over the breakout point of this triangle top. So yeah, a little resistance, and this thing will keep going higher. DXYZ.
Very
I'll
good.
get to 45.67 next.
Very good. And I see a request for Zim integrated shipping services. Another one I never really charted, but I just threw a quick fib on there with the Ichimoku cloud and the moving averages, and it is bullish, right? From the high to the low, it's getting above the log scale 50%. And if it closes consecutive weeks above it, it could be flipping to a support down at 24.14. So just watch that level. And it is up to 2504 pre-market, so it really has potential to become some kind of support there, and that's what I'm watching. And if it does hold as a support, then what comes next is 33 and then the 40s. So more and more bullish.
The Zim requester is in luck because we didn't get to it yesterday, and I kind of feel bad about that. So after the show, I completely charted Zim like all the way to the nines here. So I've got, yes, indeed, the 50% fib extension is 24.48 for me. The 50% retrace is 23.65. I think it's going to get over that and get to support, and then top out either for a 76.4 retrace to 32.97 or a wave one extension to the 76.4%. I'm sorry, this is wave three sub one to $34.22. So somewhere between $34 and $33. And then a 5-wave retrace would bring it back to $20 for the 382. And then if it got that holds up, then it goes to 57, back to 43, and on up to $93.94. Just a crazy move. Let's just see, just to the next, from where we are right now to that $34, $33 target is a 35% increase. And then to the wave 3 target, 130%. And then if it gets that wave 5 target, just from where it is right now, without even trading in and out, 273%. So yeah, Zim integrated shipping services looks like a wiener right now.
Yeah, very good. Very
I know.
nice.
I just look down here, the MCDX Plus. The institutions are definitely buying in here on the 8-hour chart. Here's the daily chart: 73% whales and like negative retail. It says.
Yeah.
Even on the weekly chart, 95%. uh, uh, whales and bankers. This thing is flying. We like it.
Nice. All right, let's go continue with Wolf here. And Wolf is looking, it's breaking above the 200 week moving average, but it is approaching the 618 up here, 816. That could be the future of it. But what I'm really focused on is just flipping that to a support, really. The 709. Just keep closing weekly candles above it. Then I think a new higher base can be formed to just go through a bunch of resistance levels through the eights, the nines, the tens, maybe up to the 11s or so. So
Right.
really, really bullish stock, especially a continuation of higher highs and higher lows. Just the market structure is very beautiful. So 709, that's basically all I'm watching. Just keep closing weekly candles above that, then good to go.
And I see the same thing for Wolf. I see either it's got to stay, it'll has to stay over 707, $7.07. It could even find support. It could get over 720. I mean, it is over 725. It could test back as far as 725 if it wants to, and see if it can hold that as support, which would later become support after it reaches its wave five top. I have this topping out at $10, and then maybe the 382 would be 725, the 236 832, and then it could go as deep as 552, but it doesn't want to go this deep. It could just retrace back to 725, hold that level, and then this could be a new wave one, wave two, and it keeps going higher from there. So yeah, watch. If you're looking for a dip, maybe the top of this candle, even this weekly candle, 727. Yeah, 727, 725. Look for that. If it wicks below that, buy more.
And it looks like Kat is requesting Tracker's underwear ticker symbol. I don't know if we've got that one.
UNDWR.
No,
No, I
I guess we don't have that now. But
that's the crazy inside joke that started yesterday. We're talking about having DMs with followers and some of the creepy DMs that some of us might get, and then I'm like, well, at least my subscribers, they don't ask for like used underwear or anything like that. And then Kat just like took that and ran with it. Yeah, that joke I regret making it now because I'm gonna be hearing to that one for till the end of time.
nice. What about? Do you have a DNA chart? I haven't started that.
DNA. I kind of do. So let's just. I'm being kind of gingerly going in with this one. Just an ABC retrace back to this level. You guys should even take it back down to this level. The three. So yeah, there's the 382 right there. Here's a little below the 236. I guess it did. Let's look at it on the daily chart. Looks like I did finally get support for the 236. So it looks like 382, 236, 618. And that looks good with these levels here too. So I think it's going to 1214 next. And if it gets to 1214 and just does a light retrace from 1214 back towards this low here of 743, then I can build. I could practically build a. Let's do that now. No, let's not do that now. I don't waste everyone's time. But very quickly, this could be a wave one, wave two situation that takes us to like 1359, back to 1189, and then up to 1805 to kind of start retesting these candles around here. So yeah, I like DNA from right here. It definitely look. I could definitely see it going to $12 from 831 right now, which would be a move from where prices right now, or at least where it closed yesterday, to that's a 46% move higher.
Yeah.
EMA Ginkgo. Why it works?
Yeah, it looks like it has potentials.
I
So
see
let's
a
go.
request for. Oh no, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do hems real quick because I saw that, and I know
Yeah.
people care about it a lot, and so I do too. And 886, that is the point I'm looking at holding, the 2281, and it has been on a day-to-day basis. It did go a little bit below yesterday, but it closed the day above. So this stock is very, very volatile, and it moves really, really like a lot throughout the day. So what I'm just looking at is continuously closing candles, daily candles, and weekly candles above this 2281, that 886. Since this 702 was proven to hold us support, just flip that 886 to support too, and off to the races it can go above 25 and beyond. So I do love it still. Just watch that 2281.
Yeah, be like Matt. Buy when it's testing real support levels when things look really challenging. That's the time to buy. And then when things get really crazy and go up high, and it looks like it's having a trouble getting higher, that's when you want to take some profits right there and at least sell some of your position. So you've got money to buy something else when it's at challenging levels. My HIMS chart does show all the volatility that Matt was just talking about, and I'm looking for to top out at 3106 for the wave one, just to the 76.4% extension. So I like it from 23 to 31. That's another 33% higher where price closed yesterday. And then somebody said EUSE, please. And yeah, EUSE is nuts, right? They didn't they like do a cat? They did like some liquid. What do you call it? They sold some more shares, right? They did a capital raise, and then they had the earnings report, and it came out that they were like negative 800% EPS surprise, and so it fell all the way back down to this level. So it didn't fully retrace back to the wave two. This is a wave three sub one, wave three sub two. It didn't fall all the way back to wave three sub two, but it did kind of come back to this A B level and a little bit lower, and that's fine. And look, after that, it just recovered right back again. So the lowest it got yesterday, I think, is 224, 223. In fact, it went 1 penny lower after I last looked at it. So 223, and it's back up here above this 50% retrace. Like if it was retracing all the way from 366 back to the wave two start, it already hit the 618 at 226, and then just kind of bounced a little bit lower from fear, and now it's up. It's back up again. So I still like it for 391. I haven't changed my chart. 391 next, back to 100%, 321, and then on to 573 for the 2382 fib extension.
Yeah, I still see it possibly closing the week tomorrow above 277, 280. So I think that's still a good possibility. And I did buy some more myself at 230 exactly. So that was a good pickup. Got through that little wick down there, and things look like they have potential to continue onward and upward. So I'm still bullish. Still bullish.
Me too.
Do you have an Ion Q chart? I know like you've been charting that a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh, so I sold my Ion Q yesterday because I saw it topped out as far as my chart went. Plus, I just wanted that sweet Ion Q money to throw more at Coinbase, or the Conel ETF. So yeah, I think it's gonna Ion Q wants to retrace back to 1331 next. You can see it had that little argument right here. That was this is a weekly chart. Let's go back to the daily chart. Yeah, it had this little argument here about 1331. It's going to come back and retest that argument. And then my next target higher, I was trying the fib channels or the parallel fibs here to see if I could use it to predict timing a little bit. I can't remember which one I drew these on, probably 8 hours. But yeah, it looks like maybe I like it for 29.16 after testing back to 13. So that's like more than double. Where are you? Right. So if it doesn't need to go to 1331, then yeah, 118% move to 29.16. And even just like an ABC retrace takes it to 28.15. So I've got some retrace versus fib extension agreement there. Then from there, a little bit pullback to 24.40, and then it just goes ballistic to 47.72. I think ballistic. It either goes ballistic or it takes until 2029. I can't tell which. Relatively ballistic.
Yeah. No, I see good. I see good developments for Ion Q as well for
Yeah.
continuation.
And you can see, like, if you look at my chart here on the daily chart, the institutional traders loved it. They just yum 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 ate it right up all the way to like almost pushing to like 90% bankers and whales, and less than 10% others, and 0% retail. It's still 0% retail. This is super bullish, even though I'm looking for it to retrace here next. Let's look on the hourly chart. Retail's starting to creep in. It hasn't thrown up a sell signal on the hourly chart yet, but yeah, I
Nice.
think it's gonna. I think it wants to retrace to 1331.
Okay. Ooh, and I see. Yeah, we haven't done Tesla yet. Somebody's requesting that.
We have not.
Go ahead and kick it off with that. Yeah.
All right, Tesla. It's loading up all my stuff here. So I've got the merely possible, not probable, that it could go back and fill that price gap with a move down to 257. I mostly came with this idea because my old buddy Zach, who's also my former mentor, he taught me everything I know about Fibonacci pinball. That's what we call doing Elliott wave theory with these particular um, Fibonacci levels, one after the other. Uh, anyway, Zach Manis is saying there's a possibility it could do a pullback to 257 and then move higher from there. So that's what that's why I sold my TSL position yesterday. And I'm just going to wait and see what happens next, because either it's going to have this sort of relatively large downside from where we are right now, or it's going to move up a little higher and test resistance at just under 300 again. And so I'm not afraid to risk, um, it going $10 higher and then having to buy in again, versus me holding on to shares and it drops in 2x the percentage gain move in TSLO all the way down to 257. So I'm back in cash. I sold it yesterday. My cash is all settled. I could buy in, sell out, and buy back in again in the same day if I needed to. But yeah, then larger term, you guys know the deal. Tesla is bullish. It's just absolutely going to go ballistic from here. It's just like when you look at it on short periods of time, it can do all sorts of crazy stuff. But in the long term, I still see it. It's good for 330 before the end of the year, and it could possibly go higher than 330. I'm just saying that's my safety call. I think we're going to see 330 before December 30th. So you don't have to necessarily follow me into my craziness when I do these. I'm selling it all. I'm going to cash because I'm risking having to buy back in $10 higher. If it does just like run up to 300 or 301, then touches back to 300 and then keeps going, I'll pull the trigger on 300, no problem. I would love to see 300 and not have all of my followers and subscribers have to sit through another drop to 257.
Yeah. I'll just pull up mine real quick too.
Okay.
And
And I don't think it's I could say Danny was just murmuring also he would like to add Tesla between 238 and 253 based
yeah,
on
if
his
it went
theory.
back there. I know he was doing that, but not sure if it's going to go back. And what I'm really focused on for Tesla is this 702, the 272.79. I was talking about that since this is the log scale fibs. Since the 618 held perfectly as a support, breakout back test completed, and then boom, higher. So if this candle closes the way it closed, and I was talking to Tracker before we started the show today, this would be the highest weekly candle close in a long time. Essentially, since these candles way over here, right? It would be at current levels, it would be the highest weekly candle close since basically 2022, and that would be fabulous for continuation. Not only that, it would be a change of a bearish market structure to bullish, right? All these lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. This would be the first higher high from this downtrend. So it's a very significant candle, and I want to see it close around current levels, but at least close above this 272 to continue just to make that higher high. And if that happens, then this chart is bullish now, right? It's finally bullish, and like officially bullish on the high time frame. And you cannot deny that anymore. And anybody that tries to short a bullish market structure, I think either you're a day trader or you're just playing with fire. So I think for me, it looks like it just wants to continue higher. Whether it retraces to these lower levels, wicks through or not, it's still undetermined. But I just want to see weekly candle closes continue to close above 272 for that continuation.
Yep. And just again, because today's got the Fed announcement on the rate cut, possible rate cut, and it's Thursday. So I don't want. Why do they always do it on Thursday? Anyway, the options market might make Tesla just do crazy things today and tomorrow. Like it could like run up high and then like plunge down low, or it could run down low at the open, then run up high today, and then come right back to where price was um, now. Like it might try to like run both sides of the options market, scare people out of their puts, scare people out of their calls, and then close flat for the week. Not flat for the week, but like flat from where we are right now. You could
Yeah,
see a
that's
whole bunch of
possible.
crazy up and down, and then we just end the week right at 287 again. So
Yeah,
don't.
and we are at resistance. Like, I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
going to explode because if you go to the linear scale fibs, 295, that is resistance, and it hit basically to almost 290 yesterday. So we're in this resistance zone. You can just look at the previous candle too. That is a resistance zone too. So it's I'm not expecting it to blast through right now, but all that matters is the market structure for me, and is if it just makes this higher high, then that is from bearish to bullish on the high time frame, and
Yeah.
that is exciting to me.
It may be that 290 is its resistance all this week. It can't get above 290, so it does everything but go over 290, which means like all sorts of crazy moves down to the downside. Then closes back just under 290 for the week, and then next week could be the week where it like crosses over 290 and starts to move and start to argue for 300. So,
All right. Oh, I see a
oh,
request for SMCI. Oh, you were going to say something?
just a piece of news. So the DXYZ is the only publicly traded stock with exposure to SpaceX, says Red Fox Writer, which
Okay.
is that's almost true. I actually happen to know also that Google has owns a large chunk of SpaceX. So if you just want to be in SpaceX, you could be in DXYZ. DXYZ has a large exposure, but so does Google.
Okay. Very good. All right. SMCI. So people are super bearish on it. Yeah, it had a lot of damage done to the chart. But what I see on my chart is if you just pull up the 200-week moving average, that's the purple, and my arc down here, and all that there, it's back above it, right? Pre-market is back above the 200-week 2301. It successfully wicked through my arc down there, and it's looking like it might close the week above these lows over here. So according to market structure and GAN and everything else, if it closes the week like above current levels, then it's still technically okay. So whatever the fear out there is, I'm not gonna like buy it yet until it just completely breaks down and makes like lower lows from here. And then I think, yeah, then maybe it's gonna be the next Enron or something. I don't know. But until then, until then is I might just take the risk still, just why not? Because it's still holding levels. It's still back above the 200 week. And this is actually the first touch of the 200 week moving average in like forever, in a long, long time. So, yeah, I mean, anytime a first touch of a major moving average hits, it's usually a bounce, right? So let's just play it like that and ignore the narratives. So, is it a dangerous, risky stock? Sure, why not? But do I care? Not me personally. No, not really. I think it still has an opportunity to bounce, get back above, and go back to the 30s. I think it really has that possibility, and so I'm not too scared on it. But as long as these levels hold, I will continue to hold.
And Matt, I have one question for our listeners. Who wants to make 278% gain on their investment? Well,
No, I think that's too much. I don't want to do that.
if you pull up my SMCI chart, I will show you how you can make 278% gain on your investment, which is just buy some now. It's super duper cheap. Like nobody wants it down here. But I can see right here that the daily pivot is 35.65, and there's a bunch of sell orders up here, which tells me that Mr. Market is expecting to see it come up and test 35.65 sometime soon, and then it's ready to sell into that zone. Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, sell into that zone, and then the R1 coincides with I think what I just saw on your chart. You had a line at around $44. Anyway, just a standard retrace back to the all-time high. That all-time high? That was just recent high. Yeah, it's the all-time high of 122.90 from this recent low of 2020. No, no, no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, I haven't updated this. Hang on one second. I haven't looked. I haven't looked at this since it got that lower low. And all right, I'm sorry. It's only 261% gain now. But if it doesn't, a standard ABC retrace back to the 61.8% gets up here to the equivalent of the R5 and the pivot points here, and kind of gets back to this argument zone up here. Yeah, that's 83.67 or 261% higher than where price closed yesterday.
And to be honest, like what SMCI reminds me of right now is the meltdown from Facebook Meta from 2021 down to the low in November of 2022. And how Jim Cramer was crying on TV, how he was like, "Oh, Meta, Facebook, it's over. I'm so sorry for recommending it." Like that was the bottom, right? But it just reminds me of that, where it was just like it was a really huge run up, and then it just back tested to the norm, and then it went higher. So I mean, as long as they don't have like major fraud going on and they're not the next Enron or whatever, then yeah, I think it really can recover. So that's why I just don't really pay attention to the fundamentals because the charts usually tell a story. And right now they're telling the story. It's just a successful backtest of the 200-week moving average, which is the first time basically ever in a long time. So this is something that is risky, but it's still healthy, right? Technically, it's still healthy.
To me, the structure of it just looks like an A, B, C up to find the actual price, then a 5 wave consolidation pattern, and we'll get an ABC retrace, and then this whole thing becomes a 1, 2, and it could have some significant growth.
Yeah, they can. It has potential, but also it's higher risk than others. So I mean, if you
It is
can't handle the
higher.
risk, if you can't handle
That's
the risk,
why.
then just choose other stocks. But for me, I like to buy support, and it's basically right now at support. So
Yeah.
that's
You can buy small. You don't have to risk a lot, and you might get a lot out of it.
yeah.
All
All
right.
right, I think we have time for maybe one more. Go ahead, you choose what you want to do.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let me go back. Let's be fair to the people in the beginning. I don't. We did Lyft, APP, TSM, and Nvia. Let's do TSM.
All right, go ahead.
TSM. Taiwan Semiconductors. I haven't looked at this chart in a while, but it looks like it's following my TA for it. It looks. I like it to 330.02. It's completed its wave 1, 2, 3. The 4 was a lot deeper than I was expecting, but it did not invalid. It still left a nice Fibonacci level between the wave 1 top and the wave 4 bottom. Hang on a second. 250, 150, 200. Yeah. Let's try this. At least the 1618 or the 1618. Where are you? There. So I'll just say like hold it or buy it. If you're holding it, keep holding it because it's just going to go up from here is what I believe. And then when you're trying to think of like where to take profits, kind of start doing it in this zone between 270, just before 278 and 330. So like if it gets over 278, test back to it and keeps going. That's how you know it's going to go to 330. And you can ask me again, and we'll look at it when it gets up there. And that is NVEA. That's not right? What's it called? NVI, NIVEA. That's a mutual. I don't know how to. I don't know the ticker for the stock. So let's call it there. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, no worries. But yeah, TSM is still fine too. Lots of things still fine. Everything's still fine. It's just gonna be a great 2025, I think. So especially
Indeed.
especially for crypto. Once they fire that Gary Gensler. Oh, I did see that comment from one of the about the others or the total crypto market cap. What do I think it's going to go to? Yeah, I think just the altcoins alone, probably 14 trillion. That's what I think. So I think crypto is just the beginning, especially when it becomes regulated. When it becomes regulated, then everybody will flock into it, and then Coinbase is going to soar on that news too, because all the fees they're going to collect with that with the altcoins.
I know. I'm still really excited about Bitcoin. I see it is at the daily R1. Yesterday it struck it here. And then I've got it going much higher because usually I draw a triangle this big, and the ending price for the move up should be significantly higher than where it started. I do see there's a smaller triangle here that was inside of it and it broke out, and that's about the significant height of it. But I think this should just be like an A, B, and then it keeps on going to make a significant higher high than this part here. Uh, I won't take up your time. I'll try to do that analysis on my own, but yeah, it's at resistance right now, but I think maybe just a little retrace and we could see it keep on pushing up.
Yeah, I see that too. And I see the last question, the time frame for that 14 trillion, probably 2030s, I would say, over the next 4 years. I think the next 4 years under this president, this friendly crypto, things can really grow exponentially. So be patient and be rewarded. And that's it for today.
Yep. Just my Connell chart. I'm hoping we could see $50 next, but it might have to pull back a little bit first.
Yeah, I could see
All
that
right.
too. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the weekly finish. Right, Friday.
Oh, the weekly finish is awesome. All right. And remember, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Fed speaks and the market does what it's going to do.
All right, until next time. See you guys.
All right. Until tomorrow, Matt. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.